gentlemen, what is your fear?
That's ridiculous. Why can't I just watch the pretty people in pink, man? Like,
Alright, let me take a hit before.
I don't want to watch the movie about the bomb. It's so depressing. I don't want to watch the man with the funny face stare at the camera for 3 hours.
That's comedy. No, I'm just kidding.
For the
All
bomb?
Maybe.
Uh-oh. What do you know that I don't know?
Alright, camera 1. Camera 2. Audio 1. Almost done coughing.
You can do it.
Welcome back to the Unsolved FearCast. Unsolved.
Audio effects, go Kyle. Unsolved, go.
Unsolved.
That works. Unsolved FearCast, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, listeners, viewers. Hey, why haven't you hit that like button or that subscribe button? What
Smash
comments
it.
have you thrown in there? Come on.
Smash it.
What are you supporting? What are you doing with your time as you're sitting there chilling with a keyboard access at your hand?
I see you scrolling past us.
Oh, don't do that.
You're gonna like it?
That's fucking rude.
You know you
bro.
listen to most of it.
That's rude. You
Gosh,
know,
this
we're
is
almost
pretty
there.
far
ahead.
Stop.
Yeah.
Just stop and hit the button. We're not even asking to subscribe for the most part. Like, you can do that too. That'd be nice.
That
but-
magical pause button we were
Yeah.
talking about.
Just a-
Pause, type, done.
Just a little like. A little like is a treat.
There you go. Yeah, fuck it. Also, yo, hit us up an email. Hit us up in the links provided. We want you down here at Unsolved Studios. We want you to jump in and what's your fear? We want to know.
So we were discussing fears of the dark, silence, and alone. And it reminded me of night terrors I had as a child where I was floating through space silently. And it was just the worst. And I remember like my parents waking me up and I would be like screaming and shaking.
Oh, wow.
Crazy about it. And it's always something that's like, when I think of like the worst nightmares I ever have, it's always like that and a couple other options, which I'll save for other podcasts. But yeah, I was wondering if maybe you had any kind of similar night terror kind of situations or any kind of extra like kind of bleeding into these events in your life that kind of helped aid these fears.
Yeah, I had really bad recurring nightmares when I was a little kid. It all ties into the abandonment issue of it all, because it all revolved around being taken away from my home and my life. And it was what was it? It was the Cat in the Hat.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Cat in the Hat would come into my room in the middle of the night, and pick me up and take me away, or try to eat me or whatever.
My lady is just freaked out by the Cat in the Hat. She
Bro.
just like, no. She's like, no, he's creepy. He like busts into the house and is playing with the kids. Like,
He's playing with kids, breaking shit. Like,
oh my god, see, man, common fears, people. This shit's crazy.
I felt so alone for a real long time about that one, about just the Cat in the Hat creeping me out, because I had these recurring nightmares, and then I found out that a lot of people don't like the Cat in the Hat.
What's his name? Mike Myers. He did the Cat in the Hat, right?
Yeah, Mike Myers was
That
the
I think that was the creepiest one, man. I don't know.
He says some questionable things in that movie.
And beep. All right. So with that fear of silence and being alone, those are pronounced as autophobias, monophobias, or isolophobias. Wow, those aren't really that hard to pronounce, which is amazing because my research is not extensive, and I didn't go to college, so I don't know how to pronounce.
You did research. I'm impressed.
Hey, bro, like I got like 30 minutes of it. I should get a little reward. Where's my trophy? Yeah.
We should get like Siri to pronounce the names of these, and that way we sound smarter.
Yeah, there we go. We'll just put a little
Alexa right
Say
there.
this word I can't speak.
creepy AI thing right here. Let's do that. Yeah. All right. Also, professional notes that was taken. Thank you
Those
very much.
notes.
So I've taken these 2 whole pages of these notes for these specific fears that we're going over, and my one I'm excited about is your fear of well, let me pronounce it first. It's ranidophobia, also known as bat ratchophobia. Holy shit.
Ratchophobia?
Yes, there you go.
I can't see it, but that sounds
that's what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, what is that? Is it A, fear bats, B, fear rats, C, fear frogs? It's fucking fear frogs. My man, what in your life were you born with the fear of frogs? Did you pop out and you're like, God damn, there's frogs in this world. What is happening?
Listen,
Do you mind
first
letting
of
us
all-
know?
First of all,
Yes.
fuck frogs. Fucking hate
He said, done.
Fuck 'em.
Axed.
I wasn't born with the fear of frogs. I was pretty neutral about them. I was never crazy about frogs, but
Right.
it was whatever. I had an experience when I was 16, and to preface it, I was really mentally unwell when I was in my late teens into my early 20s, and I started trying to, get my shit together.
Okay.
But
Haven't we all, you know?
it was in that period. It was in that period where I was starting to, wander through the woods by myself.
Woo!
Blah, blah. But I was hanging out with some friends, and one of my friends just kind of like disappeared. It was like 10 or 11 at night, next to these woods in this large area that we called the pit. It was just a long series of like electrical transformers and like woodlands.
Bigfoot.
Listen, he might have gotten taken by Bigfoot. We'll see where the story goes.
Alright.
So me and my brother went wandering around in the woods trying to find our friend.
Yeah.
And we were calling his name, screaming, and we split up. We ended up splitting up at some point, and I was in the throes still of being terrified, of being alone, and the dark. And I was wandering alone in the woods in the dark, and the only sound there was a nearby pond of frogs croaking. And as I kept wandering into the woods, it just kept getting louder and louder and louder, and I'd come out and see if maybe my friend came out of the woods. He hadn't, and I went back in, and every time it just kept getting louder and louder and louder until I found him in the middle of the woods crying and freaking out because he was lost in the woods. And the second I found him, he was freaking out, and I was like, hey, it's gonna be okay. And then the frogs went fucking silent. Just dead silent. And ever since, I fucking hate them. Can't stand them. The sound of frogs croaking will bring me to a panic attack.
You know we're going to be putting in a lot of audio of frogs during this.
Well, that's great. That sounds like editing,
It's not here now.
not my problem.
I promise you there are no frogs here.
I moved to the desert. I don't want to deal with frogs.
Oh, man. Well, with my, I literally have one thing in notes on here for this fear of batrachophobia or ranidophobia. Also, fear of frogs and toads. So, I don't know do you have a fear of toads?
I can take or leave toads. I can take or leave toads. They're a lot more stationary and chill than frogs are. Frogs hop around everywhere.
What about like the what is it, the horny toad that goes shoots blood out of its eyes and shit?
I mean, that's just pretty metal.
Yeah, like, that
that's
kind
sick
of
as
doesn't
fuck.
really fall under the same category.
Also, it's not even necessarily the frogs themselves. It's the sound. It's the sound of the croaking, right?
So
And toads generally are.
and we're gonna be
deeper.
like Oprah and bring out a frog in a case. Not just kidding.
All right, and we're fighting in the street.
If we had a frog in a case that did not croak, would you hold it in the case?
In the case, sure.
Okay, not
And,
definitely not in the hand though.
And honestly, it's not that bad. It's the cacophony of them. It's the large amount of frogs croaking.
Okay.
But like a toad, they have like the deeper, like rattly thing. It's not. Yeah, it's that as opposed to like a rivet. You know?
Okay. Yeah, got you.
She was loud, okay?
No, I get that, man. Like,
It was loud and dark and scary. and I just-
there's a lot of, again, growing up with the sticks in the woods, man. Any sign of water, those
yeah.
frogs are gonna be out there, man.
And like a whole bunch of frogs croaking, that just sounds like dark intentions.
I mean, that's ominous as shit, and you know, that's even Hollywood knows this, and they put it in, man. Those horror movies, you hear those crickets, you hear those fucking frogs, and then there's silence. You're done.
So I found him
It's like
in the
devil
middle of the
fears.
woods, wandering around, and then it went dead silent. And I'm like, I'm about to get murdered. Like, where is he? Where's big old Jason Voorhees?
Oh,
He's coming out the bushes
shit.
right now.
Jeepers Creepers guy just jumps out of the woods.
Oh my god, that'd be too
Not
much.
not the monster from the movie, but the director of the movie. Who's the monster.
Oh, I thought you meant like the kid, like the dude who loses his eyes at the end or whatever. Spoilers. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Oh shit. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, 1 second though.
Yeah.
I want to say. So yeah, that with the fear of frogs. I don't know if you've ever watched a video of a frog eating. They show no remorse to whatever it is.
Nah.
They just shove it in their mouth, whether it be like a whole
Leg off.
bird or like a baby mouse. It's creepy. And so like yeah, you put a frog on like, let's say it's like the size of like an elephant.
Okay.
Dude, a frog is just gonna come scoop you up in his little amphibian-y fingers, and he's just gonna shovel you in his mouth, and that's it. And like I don't know, like because I imagine like. It's like when you see goose teeth and you're like, okay, no, I don't want to ever see that again.
Dude.
So it's like there's got to be something in a frog's mouth where he's not just swallowing you and his stomach acids are dissolving you. There's like frog teeth crunching
I've
you.
seen some frogs that were like this freaking big when they're all like close in, and when they jump, dude, their leg span, dude, that is crazy. Those some big animals. They'll eat your cat, man.
So what we're saying is we got to figure out what those little fuckers are hiding, right? What's in a frog?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
There's more mysteries created from this podcast.
Oh man, now we're getting deep.
Frog teeth on the next episode.
Oh shit! All right, ladies and gentlemen, Kyle, dude, those were some awesome topics to discuss, and once again, like, we appreciate your time. We appreciate you opening up and coming on to Unsolved FearCast, and you know our viewers appreciate you. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of guts to get up here, and we enjoyed your time. We loved it, man, and we hoped you enjoyed it. So we have like these 3 topics, and we got through them. We want to know what your personal opinion is for your fear of the dark. Do you feel that is a rational fear or an irrational fear?
Well, with the fear of the dark, it's both, right? Like we were talking about, it stems from just biology and our ancestors and other
Okay.
buzzwords.
Right, got you.
It's the
Here
fear
we
of
go.
predators. It's the fear of very real things that couldn't possibly be there. So it's the fear of something legitimate, but illegitimately. So it's both rational and irrational.
It's
right?
on the fence.
That's true, and I'm sure there's going to be people out there who's going to say it's completely irrational fear. There's no reason to be afraid of what's in there, and that might stem from and I personally think this would stem from them just being in the city, not just go walking out in the woods, but like always, dude, nothing can hurt you in the dark.
Oh yeah, we absolutely live in the age of noise and light pollution. It's kind of hard to be really in the dark.
Yeah, I'm sure we throw them in the situation of in that cave, in those woods, and it's dark, and those fucking frogs are croaking. Like they might think otherwise, but again, on the fence, that is 50-50. And
Sounds like something someone would say who's never been in the woods with the frogs before.
I've been in the woods with the frogs, but I just want to make sure that I would say it's a rational fear, because you need to be afraid of the unknown, and the dark is the biggest unknown really out there. I mean, space is unknown, right? But
Anything could
dark's
be
out
in there.
That's
There could
it.
be a bear in my closet right now. You don't know. I don't know. It's dark.
Well, don't worry. There's Facebook videos on how you can destroy a bear in one roundhouse kick. So,
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say it's a rational fear. What about you?
I would agree. It comes from both irrational and rational places. It kind of just what necessarily it fuels your fear for the dark.
Mm-hmm. I get that. All right. Well, I feel we got a rational fear on our hands, being afraid of the dark. Now, being in silence or being completely alone.
I'd probably call it an irrational. It's no actual damage or harm is going to come to me from doing it, aside from maybe my psyche. But
Okay.
it's
I would have to agree with that. Like, but again, like I don't have that fear, so of course I'm gonna say yeah, it's irrational, right? But like it comes to, at least again coming from my side of the whole situation, it comes to a point where like if shit's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. If a meteor's gonna fall over and like light the house on fire or some shit, and you're the only one there, well, there's not much you can do about it either fucking way. So I don't know. That's why I like being alone, is because I know that shit's gonna happen. Shit's gonna happen either way. But like on the other side, being and there's a whole science between, there's two different philosophers, maybe I can figure out their names or whatever, but one philosopher says that humans and mankind are of the type to naturally want to coexist and be in a group, and they naturally need to be together to exist, to feel comfortable.
that we're social creatures.
Yes, they're social creatures. There you go. And there's that other philosopher guy who says mankind, womankind, humankind exist to be alone and exist to be non-social, and the choice becomes to be social with it. But I don't know. It's again which side of the fence you're on, either or. But I would have to dip in and say might be a little bit of an irrational fear.
Oh, absolutely. You think that that secondary philosophy just comes from the general nihilistic approach of we die alone, we're born alone, we die alone?
True. And from there, I guess that's just your own beliefs, right?
I'd say it depends on the amount of time you spend alone. If
Okay.
20 minutes alone, yeah, maybe
Facts.
it's irrational to be afraid of that. But you spend 7 years alone, and it becomes a very rational fear that you're dealing with on the daily.
Yeah, no, definitely. And there's people that have made certain choices, and they're in the situation now where they are confined and completely alone for 23 hours a day, and that's got to be hard. That's mental fucking breaking points.
I'm pretty sure that's cruelty, isn't it? Like human brains are not designed to be able to put up with that much isolation.
Hey,
It can cause the brain damage. It can cause the brain damage. It can cause brain damage.
tell that to the government, yeah.
Honey, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, and the privatized prison system.
Woohoo!
What System of a Down say they're trying to build a prison?
Oh shit. Okay, so we are now going to dip into the complete rational fear of frogs.
It's rational.
Absolutely
Totally
rational.
rational.
Totally
You know?
rational across the board.
Fuck
You
'em.
should be afraid of frogs too.
Everybody, tonight, arm yourselves. Make sure you are loaded for the next day. We are going frog hunting.
I thought you were going to put out a public call to kill frogs. I was like, oh no.
That's what I was
we're
gonna say.
doing.
Whoa,
That's
whoa,
what I
whoa,
just
whoa,
said. No, I'm just kidding. I'm
Save
kidding.
the wetlands.
Oh my god. So we're officially not being sponsored by PETA.
There's worse losses,
Oh
man.
my god.
Like you said, what are those little fuckers hiding? What have they got in there? What's in those ponds?
The
I think we
frog
need a little
base.
bit more research.
I know somebody out there knows where the frog base is. Let us know. We're trying to figure this out.
What do they have so much to croak about?
Oh,
Nothing good, I'm sure.
ladies and gentlemen, this has been another awesome episode of Unsolved FearCast.
Thank you guys for having me.
Kyle, thank you so much for jumping in, man. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your energy. We appreciate your stories. Sir, thank you Thank you, listeners, for watching. Again, hit that like, hit that subscribe, throw them comments in there. What's your fear? Hit us up on Unsolved Studios. Let's get it.
Interact with us.
Yeah, we're needy individuals,